Welcome to this week's weekly Pan-African News Roundup of the Kente Business Journal. Here we serve you with all the major news headlines across Africa and the African diaspora. My name is Rahel Akosua-Redua Opoku.
In the headlines, after the worst numbers in a decade, Africa's inflation is expected to ease in 2023. The largest multinational exercise has been conducted by Nigeria, the US, France, and 30 other nations to secure waters around Africa. And Ghana has topped the 2022 Digital Competitiveness Index for West African nations. Now the news in detail. According to reports by the African Development Bank, despite sluggish growth and the worst inflation rates in a decade in 2022, African economies are still resilient and double-digit price increases are also expected to abate. The ADB assessment stated that a stronger dollar currency, inflation, and a downturn in export demand to major trade partners in Europe and China had dire ramifications for the economies of the continent. From 4.8% in 2021 to 3.8% in 2022, the economy grew less rapidly. The reopening of China following tight COVID rules is anticipated to increase the continent's growth, which is projected to be approximately 4% this year and in 2024. The fastest increase is anticipated in Central Africa, helped by favorable commodity prices. The rate of inflation in Africa rose from 12.9% in 2012 to 13.8% in 2022, which is the highest in more than a decade. East Africa, where inflation was 25.3%, saw the most severe price increases. Zimbabwe, where inflation rose to 285% from 98% the year before, had the worst figures. Ghana has outperformed other African nations such as Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, and Niger, among others, to top the 2022 Digital Competitiveness Index for West African nations. Nigeria came in third with 65.0%, followed by Cabo Verde in second place with 65.5%. The least competitive West African countries in terms of internet infrastructure were Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mauritania. The government and other stakeholders in several nations will be consulted by the Digital Foundation Africa regarding the development and future of those nations' digital sectors. The Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry in Ghana, Herbert Kwapa, stated that the nation is prepared for the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement to be fully operationalized. He claimed that the Ghana Revenue Authority's Customs Division was prepared and qualified to offer certificates of origin that met all standards for a smooth start to the agreement. Due to some nations' failure to submit their tariff schedules to the AFTA Secretariat for technical confirmation, African countries have yet to fully benefit from the agreement 3 years after the AFTA's launch. When fully implemented, the AFTA agreement is anticipated to produce a market with a population of over 1.4 billion and a gross domestic product of over $4 trillion. In addition, it is predicted that the AFTA will raise foreign direct investment in Africa by 111% to 159%, and that by 2035, earnings for men and women will have increased by 9.8% and 11.2% respectively. Despite the fact that these figures strongly support the necessity for AFTA to be fully operationalized, this has not yet occurred. However, Mr. Kwapa gave the impression that Ghana was not one of the nations postponing the agreement's full operationalization. The Deputy Minister also mentioned that the ministry was gathering information so it could create a unique package for businesses looking to benefit from AFTA. When the package was ready, he said it will be sent to the Cabinet for approval and then to Parliament for final approval. He said the package would take into account factors including the cost of infrastructure, loans, and power. He claimed that the action was taken to increase the competitiveness of Ghanaian businesses on the continent. AFTA, when fully operationalized, would hold the key to unleashing Africa's full potential, according to Yofi Grant, CEO of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, who gave the meeting's opening comment. In order to enable higher value addition, diversify supply chains, increasing resilience to crisis, and industrializing, Mr. Grant said it was essential to strengthen regional commerce. These actions would ultimately assist in the creation of jobs and better living conditions on the continent. The absence of a unified currency in the West African sub-region has hampered viable exports, according to Dr. Mohamed Tunis, Speaker of the Economic Communities of West African States Parliament. Speaking yesterday in Guinea-Bissau at the start of the 5th Legislative with the topic ECOWAS Common Currency and the Interbank Payment System as promoters of regional trade, Tunis said the area's current export level of 10% was very low for a region with 400 million people. He emphasized that the legislative seminar should inform parliamentarians of the prerequisites for enhancing convergence and macroeconomic stability in the area. Mauro Sissoko Embalo, President of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau, expressed personal support of the ECOWAS region's adoption of the single currency in his keynote speech. However, he argued that the procedure needed to be carried out very thoroughly because there were numerous challenges to be overcome. He cited these challenges as justification for introducing the common currency as well as for involving the political class and all other interested parties by building a strong foundation of political and economic integration. The 12th edition of the largest international maritime exercise in Western and Central Africa began on Monday with 33 organizations and nations taking part, including Ghana. From the West African island of Cabo Verde to the Central African coastlines of Angola, including the Economic Community of West African States and the Economic Community of Central African States, the exercise is spread out over 5 zones in the Southern Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Guinea. According to a statement released on Tuesday by the Public Affairs sections of the U.S. Consulate General in Lagos, the exercise, which is being held in Lagos in Nigeria, will include familiarization with maritime operations centers, exchanges on medical care, search and rescue operations, and boarding techniques. The exercise offers like-minded partners the chance to collaborate in order to create African-led solutions to common transnational concerns and advance global security. The United States counts Nigeria, which is hosting the program, as a key ally in its effort to promote a tranquil, well-governed Gulf of Guinea. Nigeria maintains the largest fleet in the Gulf of Guinea region. Global event company DMG Event has announced the debut of Logistics Evolution Africa, its newest trade show with the main objective of bringing together corporate logistics teams and service suppliers from all areas of the African logistics supply chain. Leading industry event producer DMG Event has a long history of success, having produced over 80 trade exhibitions in 25 countries that attracted almost 500,000 attendees. The Logistics Evolution Africa brings together decision makers, innovators, and public and private stakeholders from important sectors like mining, retail, automotive, logistics, health, and retail. It coincides with Transport Evolution Africa Forum and Expo, the only event in Africa that brings together the region's port, road, and rail authorities under one roof, and runs from September 20 to 23, 2023 at the Nkosi Albert Luthi ICC complex in Durban in South Africa. Aviation Ghana insiders have disclosed the types of aircraft that Ghana Airlines, the country's new flag carrier, will use when it begins operations. According to sources close to the airline, ATR aircraft would be used for both domestic and regional flight. The 4 models of ATR aircraft produced by the Franco-Italian manufacturer are the ATR 42-600, ATR 42-600, ATR 72-600 and ATR 72-600F. The selection of the aircraft is largely based on its fuel economy, low maintenance cost, and operational effectiveness. Since the collapse of Ghana International Airlines in 2010, which followed the loss of Ghana Airways in 2004, Ghana has been without a national airline. The signing of memorandums of understanding with Ethiopian Airlines and Egypt Air, respectively, is part of the effort to launch a new domestic carrier has not yet produced any result. As a result, a new committee was created to review all proposals after the former Ministry of Aviation was absorbed into the Ministry of Transport. Following a competitive selection process that included the Ashanti Group, the strategic partnership was approved by the Cabinet on February 24, 2022. Ghana's hope of winning the 2022 CHAN tournament in Algeria was dashed on January 28, 2023 as the Black Galaxies exited the tournament after losing 2-0 to Niger in the quarterfinal. Niger reached the last four of the tournament for the first time as Kennedy Adams scored an own goal, with Niger's Somana scoring the second to push the two-time finalists to the semi-finals. The Black Galaxies will receive a prize of $400,000 for finishing as quarter-finalists. Algeria, Senegal, Madagascar and Niger are the four teams in the semi-finals of the competition being played in Algeria.
That's it for this week's weekly Pan-African News Roundup on the Kente Business Journal. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell to stay updated always. You can also follow us on our social media platforms. Catch you next weekend.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel Kente Business Journal TV and press the notification bell to stay updated always.